So putting in a name here, pressing save, you see this now, and I want it to go away after a while, right? I even want to be able to click it. So let's try and get this guy to be removed again after a certain time, and when I click the cross over there. Let's start out with the timeout, because that's actually a pretty exciting one here. What we need to do is we need to set timeout, which is a function inside Angular that we can use to kind of do a delayed call to any function, right? So what we're going to do is, first of all, you're going to use, we don't need any parameters, so you can do it like this if you don't have anything to pass in, and I don't have anything to pass in. Right here, I'm passing in a customer, right? So I'm getting a customer from the subscribe, but here I'm using the timeout and I'm not getting anything in from the outside. The next thing, I need to define that this is going to end up doing something that'll be put inside the curly brackets right here. And then the final thing is to put in how long do we want before we actually execute this code. And I'm going to put in 3k seconds right here, or 3k milliseconds. I can try and say it 1,000. I'm going to put in 3,000 milliseconds. I should have picked 2,000, that's easier to say. But I picked 3k milliseconds, that's 3 seconds, right? So putting 3 seconds in there, and yeah, there's something wrong with my tongue, I don't know. Putting that in there, and then what are we going to do after 3 seconds? All we're going to do is we're going to say this dot customer service created successfully, and then we're going to set that to false, right? So after 3 seconds, we just want that to be set to false. So it's going to put it to true, show it in the application, and after 3 seconds, it's going to shut it down and put it back to false. It misses a white space right here. Let's put it in there. Is that the place? No, is that the place? Yeah, it seems so. There we go. Let's try and see the code actually running. So we'll put in Jingo Hopes. There we go. Great name. Save it. 1, 2, 3. Go away. Hey, it worked. That was magic. So now we kind of put in the timeout that kind of removes the actual created, right? So you can go and place it wherever you want on HTML. I want one more thing. I want to be able to also just press the X to close it. And if we jump into the HTML right here, there's actually a close function available that we can call when we want to close this. So when we click the X out there, this function will be called, or whatever function we put in here. And I'm just going to call this close alert like this. And that guy is just going to kind of get into my code now. So we can also close this by just clicking the X, right? So let's put that in here, add a few curly brackets. I actually want curly brackets if that's okay with you. There we go. And all we need to do to close it again is just set this guy to false. And there we go. Now we should be able to close the alert if it ever pops up. Let's try once more. Let's create one no more. Save it. There we go. Press the X. That's gone, right? And I think I made it before the seconds. Let's just try and make another guy here. Save, clicking X, and it's gone. So now we have 2 ways of actually getting that dialog out of the way again. And the color doesn't matter, of course. You can just use these alerts for anything now that you want to. You can add warning alerts, you can add error alerts, stuff like that, explaining you didn't save the customer, please try again. And you can even put in the actual information about why you didn't save the customer. See you in the next lesson where we'll try and add validation information. Have fun.